Hello, Pisces, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. I was just listening because I can hear a bird outside, and I heard birds this morning, and that just means spring's around the corner. We've had some sunshine this week. Just makes me think, oh, we might actually make it through the winter. So I hope you're making it through well wherever you are in the world. This will be your weekly reading for the week of February 15th through the 21st, where if you are like me, we're crossing our fingers and just hoping that winter is I'm just done. I'm ready for spring. During this week, we do have a few moon energies that will be coming through. Let me grab a drink real quick. We have the waning crescent that comes in. We had that at the end of our last week, of course. Getting myself choked up, and that'll be for the 15th and the 16th, and that's a very stable and calm energy. It's a time of self-reflection, and we're thinking about what changes we might want to make, because the new moon comes up on the 17th, and that of course is a time for a fresh start, new beginnings, a good time to learn a new skill or start new projects, or just new things that we want to do. We then move into the waxing crescent energy, and that is just a time of heightened senses and a good time to just execute those things that we've just started on the new moon and to live up to our expectations and our intentions. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Pisces. So, as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is the end of a tough cycle approaches. All right, looks like you guys are wrapping up a tough cycle. So, yeah, good time to do that evaluation. What things do you want to change? What made it so tough for you? Ask yourself those questions and do that evaluation and just make the appropriate changes on the new moon. So, as I'm shuffling the tarot today, my fun weekly reminder is that you take the time to learn something new this week. And it could be that it's just that self-reflection that you're looking back and thinking, what did I learn the past cycle? And what do I want to learn in the next cycle or change and have some growth and positive change. So, but learning something new, that might get you there. A lot of times as adults, we don't take the time to really deep dive and learn, something that might take a little bit of time to learn. So it's just my weekly reminder that you try to do that this week a little, really take notes and absorb the thing that you're learning. So, all right, let's get into this reading. Pisces, February 15th through the 21st. The end of a tough cycle approaches. Your present energy right now is that you are looking straight ahead. You're not trying to worry about looking back. Whatever that tough cycle, you're trying to forget about it and move forward. I don't blame you. Nobody likes a tough cycle. So here we are with the two, and you're thinking about the future. You are kind of doing that, reflecting and looking ahead and thinking, what is it? What do I want to change in my life right now? What's working, what's not working? What do I need to make work better? Your current situation right now is the Seven of Swords. So the seven is about being cunning, a little bit crafty. Sometimes it can be about theft or hidden agenda. But I think sometimes if you're having thoughts about the future, this is a card of communication, and you just may not want to communicate exactly what your plans are to everybody. I kind of see this as holding your poker cards close to your chest, right? Like that some information doesn't need to go that far. So, and that's okay. You don't have to share everything all the time. Let's see. At the root of your situation this week is the Four of Wands here. So, some sort of maybe a celebration at the root of this. Maybe you've come to some sort of milestone. This could be, an anniversary, a wedding, a birthday, something coming up that maybe you're even planning a celebration for, and that's kind of fun. And maybe you're not telling everybody all of your plans. Like I said, you're holding some of that close to your chest, but you're certainly thinking about it and maybe getting excited about it. I'm a little excited about it if you're making some plans there. Sounds like a good time. What is in your recent past is the Five of Swords. So, you know, this can be a little bit of contention, words that are maybe exchanged. This could be something in your past where, things were, just a little contentious. This can be kind of the card of arguments, words being said, maybe misunderstandings, that sort of thing. So you're I can see why, if that was a tough cycle and you had that in your past, I can see why you are thinking about the future and thinking about a celebration and something that's fun to think about. It's like, let that go, let it go, move on. All right, what is on your mind this week is your happiness. It's the sun card. It's nurturing, it's light and brilliance and healing and just moving towards something happier. So I love that. It's like I feel like that's the don't worry, be happy card. So that song goes through my mind every time I pull it out because sometimes that's just what that you have to tell yourself that, stuff goes by, stuff in the past, stuff that's like, ugh, weighs you down. And it's like, don't worry. Is it really that important? Don't worry about it. Be happy. Let's see what is just ahead of you this week is the moon. So not only do we have this brilliance of the sun, but we also have the brilliance of the moon, which is at night and can illuminate things that maybe we didn't see in the brightness of the sun. This is when you might see the coyote or the wolf, something that comes out that he was there in the daytime, but he was asleep. This is when we listen to our dreams and we pay attention to our intuitions and those little occurrences, those little synchronicities that are happening around us. We're just kind of, that world is awake to us, and that is ahead of you this week. So pay attention to those dreams because there might just be a message there for you. In your advice position is look at you with the 10 of Pentacles. So not only the happiest card here with the sun and some celebration, but your advice is to look at the big picture and think about long-term health, wealth, security, that sort of thing. Just look at the big picture. These little tiny squibbles and things, those don't really matter. It's the big picture stuff that really does. What is beyond your control this week is the star card. Interesting that that gets to come out with the moon. The star card is about our direction. It's about being on course. It's about following those intuitions that are coming up and things that come up with that moon card, those dreams and those, but this is about, you've ever heard of it's written in the stars? It's because sometimes things happen and you just don't even understand why, but look at all the constellations happening here on this side of your reading. Very interesting. You might want to get out this week and just look up at the stars. There might be something up there and just some relaxation for you and some inspiration. What is your secret desire and what are you trying to avoid is the hermit card. You might just want a break and you might just want a hermit, and maybe that might be your gift to yourself here. If you are thinking about the future and there's some getaway, you might just be thinking that the one thing will be the quiet time. That time that's maybe spent alone or spent with you and a friend or you and a partner where you just get to be quiet sometimes. Those are some of my favorite times, just reading a book. So is that'll be a question for you. Is it your secret desire to kind of hermit away a little bit, or are you trying to avoid that? Maybe you've been hermiting and you're just trying to be a little bit more social, but that'll be a big question for you this week. In your outcome position is look at the other happy card. I love this reading for you, Pisces. I feel like you are trying to really be positive, look on the bright side of things. I don't see, let's see, what is missing? Like, I feel like we kind of got a balance here. We've got swords, wands, pentacles, cups, a little bit, it's just very balanced reading, but happy. I like to look at the colors that are happening. We know when a reading comes out and look how dark this one is. And we just start to get brighter and brighter. The hermit's in there and I don't even see him as being a dark card. I mean, it is quiet and it's inner and it is at night, but even these cards of night have the stars lighting up the night and the moon, but he has his lantern. So there's a lot of light in this reading, which I really like. So let's see what's hidden from you this week. You're getting at the end of this tough cycle. King of Swords is what is hidden from you, and that is really being logical. So, and that's fine. I feel like you've got some things going on here. Maybe you just don't even want to bring logic into it. You are trying to be more about the signs and symbols and synchronicities in the universe. And I like that because I live my life like that most of the time. So ask my husband, who, he's the very logical one. That's just not my forte. Definitely his, though. Let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message here for Pisces. And the final word for you is to ask with sincerity. And I'm sure that means asking the universe with sincerity. Look at all of these examples of light that you have here to do that. And maybe even asking yourself and going within a little bit, that inner wisdom. All right, let's see what you need to do in the way of self-care. Self-care for Pisces this week, as they're being so positive. And the card that you get says change course. I love the keys on this card. A closed door is an invitation from life to move in an even better direction. It's time to change course. All right, time to change course. Closed door, tough cycle. End of a tough cycle approaches. Let that door close and let these new things open up to you. I mean, I think, again, all of these, look at all these different light symbols that are in this entire side of this reading. Let whatever that is go. It's time to change course. I think that's a great message for you. So, Pisces, thanks so much for being here. I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below and let me know if anything here resonated, or if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you also. And if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe will allow you to find me next week when I post readings. So come back next week and we'll see if this energy continues or if there's something new here for you then. So thanks so much, Pisces. Good luck with all of this, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.